we are introduced to Kaiser Clyde, who used to be an adventurer. He learned swordplay from a great master named Kene and practiced magic with an ancient sage. After joining the Adventurers Guild, he quickly climbed the ranks towards the title of S rank. However, one day, when he was 17, he lost everything. It happened when he was on a rank mission. He was on top of a volcano inhabited by wyverns. He thought that taking on a mission like that alone was a risk, but he successfully completed the subjugation. He was planning to simply complete the mission and head back, but he thought he should bring some material back to the guild. When he felt an irregular movement, he sees a monster that is not the size of a small wyvern. It was a giant monster with 4 legs and huge wings. Kaiser realized that there was something sleeping near the volcano. It was an S-rank monster, an ancient dragon. The ancient dragon flew away. Kaiser realizes that the ancient dragon is heading towards the town under the volcano. Kaiser runs towards the town even though he doesn't know if he will be able to make it in time. Kaiser reaches a cliff and sees that the ancient monster has destroyed the entire town. It growls very loudly for a while and then suddenly flies away. Kaiser continues to run towards the town. When he reaches the town, he sees that all the buildings and even the group are all destroyed. He runs around in the destroyed town to see if someone managed to survive. He kept running around but could not find any survivors because everything was already destroyed by the ancient dragon. Kaiser falls down on his knees and starts crying as he considers everything his fault. He thinks that if he had beaten those wyverns faster, then he wouldn't have awakened the ancient dragon. He considers himself an rank adventurer who was trained in the sword, who was taught by a sage, who is supposed to be a prodigy, but he could not protect the people he should have protected. Nothing seems to make sense to him as he considers everything as his fault and considers himself as a failure. Suddenly, he hears a noise. He runs towards it and removes all the broken walls to see if there is someone alive. After he removes all the broken walls, he finds 3 kids crying. Kaiser took them in his hands and felt a bit of relief that they were safe. He was certain as he had thought that everyone had died, but some lives might be saved. He decides to take responsibility and make them happy. He makes a promise to all the villages that could not be saved that he will make sure to raise these children properly. Kaiser swears on behalf of those whom he could not save that he will make them happy. After his return, things were different. Some adventurers started blaming Kaiser for the destruction of the village. People who had praised him before started to talk behind his back. Some people would say that that was bound to happen one day as he was so conceited just because he was called a prodigy. Others would say that a rank adventurer just allowed the destruction of an entire village. Everyone began to cut him with their words, but he couldn't argue with them because he believed that the deaths of the people of that town were undoubtedly his fault. However, he decides to do the right thing by raising the 3 surviving kids properly. A girl comes to Kaiser and asks him if he is really going to retire from being an adventurer. Kaiser says that that town was destroyed because of him, so he is not qualified to call himself an adventurer. The girl tries to convince him by saying that what happened in that town was not his fault, as the ancient dragon is an S-ranked monster and no matter how hard he had tried, he couldn't have fought it. Rather, he was a hero who saved 3 lives. Kaiser was determined and did not want to hear more. He appreciates the girl for what she said, but he insists and says that he wants to be with these children. The girl had no other option but to let him go. Becoming an S-ranking adventurer was used to be his dream, but now he just wants to become a father for those 3 children. He is determined to keep his promise by becoming their father and giving them a good life. After leaving the city, Kaiser decides to return to his hometown of Uzua. He decides to raise those children there, a place away from the crowds and commotion of the city. The people there gave him a warm welcome. Although they were surprised to see Kaiser come back with babies, the elder understood his situation and helped him. They let him stay in a little house on the edge of the town. It was Kaiser's first time raising children. He tried to educate them from an early age, but they always gave him something new to worry about. They fought a lot and were always injured. Kaiser felt like they grew so quickly. 10 years later, the 3 girls he picked long ago finally turned 10. Elsa, the oldest of the 3. She is much more talented than other kids her age. She is skilled in handling a sword. Her ability exceeds a normal 10-year-old. Her strength and sharpness are on another level entirely. However, even though she is talented, she is still a kid. While practicing, as she tries to run away, Kaiser hits her on her head with a wooden sword and she falls down and the fight seems to be over. Elsa says that she could not even land a hit despite the fact that she went all out. Kaiser tells her that there is still a long way to go before her beloved daughter can achieve that, as he has 27 years of experience after all. Kaiser praises Elsa by saying that she did really well this time. Her skill with the sword has greatly improved and at this rate, she might become a better swordsman than him. Elsa is surprised to hear that and wonders if it is really possible for her to become better than him. Kaiser pats her and assures her that it is possible if she doesn't quit. Moreover, he says that he is glad that she is calling her father, but he wonders why doesn't she call him daddy like she used to. Elsa's face turns red and she hesitantly says that she can't do that, as a swordsman must not show any weakness in their life. and that is the way of a warrior. Kaiser asks her if she means to say that she does not like soft things. Elsa agrees with him confidently and says that calling him anything else besides father would show softness. She also says that even eating things like desserts is showing weakness. Kaiser plans to tease her and says what a shame it is as the dessert for the day was apple pie, but a swordsman like her cannot eat something like that. Elsa's face brightens up and her eyes shin up after hearing about the apple pie. She then acts shy and says that it is okay for today to be a little soft. Kaiser agrees with her and says that he first has to go buy the ingredients. He asks Elsa if she wants to come with him and she agrees happily. On their way to buy ingredients for the apple pie, Kaiser thinks that despite her attitude, Elsa is such a sweet and loving girl. She always liked to play in the garden and seemed to enjoy watching him practice with the sword. When she cried at night, holding his sword always calmed her down. Even when she left her childhood behind, even now she sleeps next to her old wooden sword. Little later, Elsa says that she wants to be an adventurer like her father and beat the dragon that even her father couldn't. Kaiser pats her once again and thinks that she looks happy now, but she does not know the danger of being an adventurer. While thinking about what might happen if Elsa went through something like that, Kaiser is not sure if she should follow in his footsteps. However, Kaiser concludes that he cannot dictate Elsa's future and she has to decide for herself. Therefore, Kaiser says that she will definitely be able to surpass him and realize her goal, but first, she has to win next week's fencing tournament. If she wins, he will let her ask him for something. A week later, Elsa dominates everyone in the fencing tournament. It was decided that this year's winner is Kaiser's daughter, Elsa. Everyone is surprised to see how genius Kaiser's daughter really is, as she won the tournament last year as well. Everyone praises Elsa for being so amazing and genius with the sword. They appreciate Kaiser's training as well. Kaiser says that it is not because of him, it is all due to Elsa's own talent. At the same time, Elsa comes to Kaiser and shows him the medal while asking if he saw that she won this year's tournament too. Kaiser tells her that he was watching and her skills with sword are amazing and consider this as the result of all her hard work. Elsa says that she still has a long way from her father and she has to work even harder. Kaiser tells her that she will definitely outdo her father and he is looking forward to that day. Elsa hesitantly asks him if he remembers his promise. Kaiser tells her that he does remember the promise that if she won the tournament then she could ask him for something and asks her what she wants to ask him. Elsa blushes and says that that is a secret. Kaiser pats her and tells her that for dinner that night, he will make rabbit stew, which is her favorite. Moreover, since it's a dinner celebrating her victory, she can have more than one plate. Elsa gets excited to hear that and says that she wants to have the tournament every day, then she could eat rabbit stew every day. Kaiser says that if that happens then he does not think there would be anyone who would join against her. Suddenly, someone shouts that a monster has appeared in the village. Kaiser hears that and orders Elsa to stay there, keep quiet, and not move until he gets back. Kaiser decides to go in the direction the voice came from. Elsa says that she will come too as she is the tournament champion and can fight alongside her father too. She requests Kaiser to let her come with him. Kaiser allows her and asks her to stay behind him. As they reach there, Kaiser asks Elsa to help the others while he takes care of it, but Elsa wants to fight beside him. As she stood in front of the monster, she couldn't even move. Kaiser notices that Elsa is being completely overwhelmed. As the monster dashes towards Elsa, Kaiser runs towards her to protect her. He stands in front of Elsa to block the monster's attack. His abdomen gets stabbed by the monster's horn. Elsa was right behind him and he could not let her get hurt, so Kaiser grabbed the monster and threw him and then instantly slashed him to death. Kaiser comes to Elsa and asks her if she is hurt. She is alright, but she starts crying as she feels sorry that she could not do anything. Just because she won the fencing tournament, she thought she could help him. Kaiser pats her and tells her not to worry as the first fight is always the hardest. Moreover, he tells her that she has to gain experience and improve herself little by little. Elsa asks Kaiser if he is not afraid of monsters. Kaiser tells her that of course, they are scary and some are more terrifying than he could ever imagine, but he has people to protect. As Elsa wonders what he means by people to protect, Kaiser tells her that like her, his daughters, and the people of the village too all are very important to him and he must fight to protect those who are important to him. That gives him the strength to not be afraid. Elsa says that she also has important people to protect like her friend Mina-chan, her younger sisters, and her father too. Therefore, Kaiser tells her to dedicate her sword to them, and then surely she will overcome any fear she has. Elsa wipes her tears and stops crying. As Kaiser decides to go and get some dinner, he tells Elsa that her defeat today will serve as an experience for her future, and it will push her to become stronger than she is now. At home, the second daughter of Kaiser wonders why Elsa and her father are late. One day, while having tea, Anna notices that her father and Elsa are late. The fencing tournament should have ended by now. Elsa should have won quickly, so Anna wonders if something happened to them. Anna thinks that if Elsa is with their father then everything should be fine. Anna then decides to go check up on the mine. At a different place, Kaiser places a crate of items. The other person apologizes to him for making him do so after he took care of the monster. Kaiser says that he took care of his house when he was away and so asks him to let him return the favor. It is Giselle-san. He says to Kaiser that he has always been a man who has a strong sense of duty, as he is always helping him out all the time with the village, especially with his work as a guardian. Jaisal-san thanks Kaiser for that and says that there are far fewer demon attacks than before, so this year's harvest is likely going to be the biggest they have ever had. Kaiser says that he is glad to hear that. Speaking of which, Jaisal-san says that he had heard that Kaiser is teaching kids swordsmanship. Kaiser says that it is true and it is always nice to know how to use a sword in case something happens. Moreover, he says that the kids are always coming to his house and asking him to teach them. Jaisal-san recalls that when Kaiser first participated in the fencing tournament, he won the whole thing without getting hit once. However, he ended up being banned from subsequent tournaments for being too strong. Jaisal-san compliments Kaiser by saying that his strength is in a different league and his arms are quite strong. Moreover, he thinks that if he were to carry all those ingredients at once, he would strain his back. As soon as Jaisal-san says that it is just as he expected from a former rank adventurer, Kaiser requests him to stop, as that was a long time ago, and now he considers himself as just a retired adventurer. Jaisal-san says that he has never heard of adventurers having a retirement system. He says that if Kaiser was to return to the capital, then he could easily become an adventurer again, and a lot of people would welcome him with open arms. Kaiser says that he cannot return anymore as he has Elsa and the others now. Jaisal-san gets serious and asks Kaiser if he has told the truth to those children. Kaiser asks him what he meant by telling them the truth. Jaisal-san says he meant that he is not their father, as it is not hard to see. There is no mother to be seen after all. Kaiser denies that he has not told the truth to the children yet, although he does plan to tell them when the time comes. Jaisal-san says that there is always the option to keep it a secret and asks Kaiser to think about it, as if they find out that he is not their real father, those girls will be extremely shocked. He does not run that risk if he doesn't tell them from the beginning, and hiding the truth is also kindness in a way. Kaiser agrees with Jaisal-san. Kaiser looks around and asks Jaisal-san if he has changed the interior of the boar. Jaisal-san is happy to know that Kaiser noticed it. He says that he changed it after Kaiser's daughter advised him to do so, and not just the interior, the entrance is also different now. She also said that if you could see the interior from the outside, then customers would walk in without any worries. So, Jaisal-san did everything she recommended, and since then, there have been more customers in the bar than ever before. Jaisal-san appreciates his Anna-sama for all that. Furthermore, Anna had also said that he was buying the ingredients above market price, so she negotiated with the vendor. Jaisal-san was awestruck at how well Anna was negotiating so easily with a professional businessman. It was a sight to behold. Both of them managed to get their points across without getting angry at each other. Jaisal-san finds Anna seriously amazing and says that she will be exceptionally talented in the future. He plans to get on her good side right while he can. Kaiser sees Jaisal-san drooling while thinking about money and realizes that he still loves money as much as ever. Jaisal-san says that of course, he loves money, even though it's just that money doesn't even give him the time of day. Moments later, the door of the bar opens and Elsa enters. She says to her father that she has come to pick him up. Kaiser apologizes to Elsa for making her come here. She says that it is nothing to worry about, as she was training with her sword in the meantime, and proceeds to greet Jaisal-san. In the end, Kaiser asks Jaisal-san to let him know if he ever needs help again. In his response, Jaisal-san appreciates his work and asks him to give Anna his regards. On their way back, Kaiser asks Elsa if she has finished her quota for that day. She replies by saying that lately, she has been finishing by noon, so she was thinking about increasing the amount of training. Kaiser tells her that she should not overdo it, as rest is important at times too. He continues by saying that according to recent studies, you should rest 20 hours after. Suddenly, someone starts shouting. They see Camel running towards them. Kaiser wonders why he is running away and if there is a monster chasing after him. Elsa asks her father to restrain Camel-san. Camel asks Kaiser to get out of his way, but Kaiser stands in front of him because it is a request from his daughter, so he decides to stop him. After colliding with Kaiser, Camel falls down and Kaiser asks why was he running away. Elsa tells Kaiser that he was drinking and skipping in the middle of work, so she thought that she should punish him a little bit. Camel in his defense says that he could not help it, as he cannot breathe that well inside the mine and he has to go out and take a breather once in a while. Elsa straightforwardly asks him to take a break outside work hours then. Camel says that it is exactly for that reason that the mine working hours are from 8 AM to 5 PM, 5 days a week. Elsa orders him to shut up. Camel continues to argue and says that they want to work when they feel like it and go home when they feel like it. Elsa finds it inefficient and asks to work when it's time to work and rest when it's time to rest, as it is important to be efficient. Moreover, Elsa says that if he were to work as hard as her father does, then he could make the same profit with just 3 hours a day, 2 days a week. Camel asks her not to be ridiculous and says that Kaiser is a complete monster while pointing toward him. He says that Kaiser alone can do the work of 100 guys on his own. Elsa then says that he has to be at least as good as her father if he wants to complain. Otherwise, he needs to work 8 hours a day, 5 days a week consistently. Out of frustration, Camel asks what a kid like her knows about their work. Kaiser interrupts him and says that ever since this kid started to meddle in their work, their mine's profits reached a record high. Camel could not say anything against it. Elsa decides to tease him and says that she would not mind stepping down from the job, but she is afraid that she will have to report it to his boss and his wife. Camel begs her to do anything but that, as his boss and his wife both trust her completely, and if she tells them, then he will have no place at work or home. Elsa then suggests him to start working without complaining. Camel was left with no other option but to agree with her. Elsa says that since Camel has got it now, he should return to work immediately, as he is losing his valuable lunch time being here with them. Camel realizes this and starts running back. Elsa says that she had thought that all adults were supposed to be as resilient as her father, but in the end, they are just children that look like adults. If they are spoiled a little bit, they start to complain, skip, and make excuses. She feels like you have to pay attention to them at all times. Kaiser says that it looks like she is having it rough every day. Elsa tells Kaiser that she is having to work as a supervisor in the mine, while also helping in repairing the village from the last typhoon. Kaiser asks her if she hasn't also gotten involved in the management of a certain bar recently too. Elsa says that she is helping because she was asked to, and she thinks that experiencing a lot of things will be helpful once she joins the guild in the future. Kaiser recalls that Elsa's dream was to become a guild master. At the same time, Anna comes to the scene and teases Elsa by saying that Elsa says she wants to become an adventurer, but other than her skills with a sword, she is pretty much useless, so she will have to manage everything else for her. Elsa feels embarrassed and says that she can do other things besides swinging her sword. Anna finds it interesting and asks her if she knows how to keep track of the household expenses, if she knows how much money she needs to live every month, if she knows what is the breakdown, and how much money she has left for next month. Elsa says that even she can do that much and starts to calculate. However, she gets confused and feels embarrassed. Anna swaggers in front of her and says that she wants to support adventurers like her father, so the guild master position is perfect for her. Kaiser pats her and says that he thinks she can do it. After all, Anna is his precious daughter. Anna's face turns red after hearing that. She then recalls and asks if Elsa and their father were on their way home. Kaiser agrees and says that they are having a celebration dinner for Elsa, and he is also thinking of making apple pie for dessert. Anna starts drooling as soon as she hears about apple pie and asks her father if he will be the one making it. Kaiser tells her that he is going to make them with his own 2 hands. Anna calls him the best and decides to go back home with the 2 of them. Kaiser asks her if it won't get her into trouble on her work. Anna grabs his hand, starts singing that it is fine, as she says that there is no job that is more important than her father's apple pie. Elsa gets jealous of Anna and says that it is cheating. Kaiser offers her his other hand and asks her to join them. She gets happy and grabs his other hand. As they proceed to go back to their home, Kaiser thinks that they are not ready to hear the truth yet, and they are just pure and innocent 10-year-old girls. While on their way back, a shopkeeper recognizes Anna and her father, Kaiser. He calls it perfect timing and hands over a fine because his Anna-chan helped them adjust their expenses the other day, so this is a token of appreciation. He says that ever since Anna has started helping out in various places, the village's economy has improved drastically, and so he gives the fish as just a part of his gratitude. They find it amazing to think that a 10-year-old could have this much influence in her surroundings and call her the future guild master who leads them all from above. On their way back, they kept on receiving a lot of food that even they didn't expect. Anna says that she didn't think it was going to be this much and says that she will be going to have to go over their menu again for the week. Kaiser says that they are going to have a lot on their plates for a while. Anna and Elsa start singing in excitement. On the other hand, someone is drooling while sleeping in her bed. After Kaiser gets back with his 2 daughters, Elsa and Anna, he notices something and goes into one of the rooms. He is surprised to see that it is evening already and his 3rd daughter is still sleeping. Anna comes from behind and sees it and wonders how can she be so lazy. Her name is Merle. Kaiser tries to wake up as it is evening already, but she just asks for 5 more minutes. Kaiser forces her to wake up. Merle gets an idea and says that she will get up in exchange for a kiss on the cheeks because princesses wake up after they receive a kiss from their prince. Elsa comes in and shouts at her by saying that she is not a princess and asks her to stop bothering their father. Merle says that Elsa is as upright as ever and then again asks their father to give her a kiss on the cheeks. Kaiser asks her if she will get up if he does so. She agrees to get up in excitement. Kaiser finally gives her a kiss on her cheeks. She starts to roll over her bed. Kaiser then asks her to get up as promised. Merle finally gets up and starts singing "You Are Very Good at Kissing." Merle asks Elsa why she doesn't ask for a kiss too. Elsa blushes and her face turns red. She shouts at Merle and asks her not to say such ridiculous things, as a swordsman doesn't need things like kisses. Merle teases her even more by saying that she does not need to be so embarrassed and should just say that she wants to be spoiled too. Elsa shouts at her once again and says that she is the one who wants to be spoiled. Merle calls out for her father and asks him to change her out of her pajamas. Kaiser says it is just as Elsa says, that Merle wants to be spoiled by him too much. Moreover, Kaiser notices that she is wearing his shirt. Merle says that it is because she loves her daddy a lot. At the same time, Anna asks Merle what happened to magic school and whether she had classes that day. Merle tells her that she skipped her classes that day. Anna gets irritated by this behavior of Merle and tells her that the school tuition is not free and their daddy is paying for it. Merle finds her classes very boring because their level is too low. She says that she is already better than her magic teacher at school. Kaiser is amazed to see her using ice magic. Ice is a technical application of water, so Kaiser asks her where did she learn how to use it. Merle tells him that it was him who taught her how to use water magic the other day. After that, she has been experimenting with it in every way she could imagine. Therefore, instead of going to class to study magic, she prefers to have her daddy teach her magic while she flirts with him. Anna contradicts her and tells her that their daddy cannot spend the entire day looking after her as he is busy with his own stuff. Therefore, Elsa suggests that she should just go to school and take classes like everyone does. Merle lies on Kaiser's lap and says that going to school is such a pain that she just wants to stay home and flirt with her daddy. Anna bursts out of anger and pulls Merle's ears. As she screams in pain, Anna asks her to promise that she will go to school properly. Merle is left with no other option but to make the promise, and then Anna finally releases her ear. Anna assures Kaiser not to worry as she will make sure that Merle goes to school responsibly and asks him to just focus on his own work. Now that Merle has said that she will be going to school, Anna decides to prepare dinner. As Kaiser gets up from the bed, Merle asks him what is for dinner. Kaiser tells her that they are having rabbit stew to celebrate Elsa's victory. Merle gets excited to hear that and asks what will there be as dessert. As soon as Kaiser tells her that it is going to be apple pie as dessert, Merle's eyes brighten up and she starts singing. Anna says that their daddy's apple pie is the best in the world and bad children who skip school does not get dessert. Merle starts crying after hearing that and says that she will do as Anna told her and properly go to school, but requests to not leave her without dessert. As Anna proceeds to leave without saying anything, Merle starts shouting and asks her to say something. A few days later, when Kaiser was on his duty, another guy came and told him that his shift was done for the day and asked him to let him take over. Kaiser then decides to go and take a break. He goes and sits at the side of the road. While sitting there, he thinks that the harvest is almost here and it is the time of year when monsters come after their crops. That demon from last time was probably after them too. There are some people in the village that knows their way around with a sword, but they are no match against a strong monster like that. However, ever since he took the role of guardian, he has been able to fend off all the monsters. Of course, he has taken other measures other than just acting as the guardian. While Kaiser continues to think, Merle comes from behind. She covers Kaiser's eyes and asks who is it and gives him a hint that it is the person who loves you. Kaiser teased Merle as he asked for more hints because there were a lot of people who loved him after all. Merle again gives him a hint that the person who likes him the most, and Kaiser gets confused as it becomes hard for him to answer from that hint. Merle decides to give Kaiser one more hint and says that she is Daddy's most spoiled daughter. Kaiser removes her hands as he guesses that she is Merle. As Merle sits beside Kaiser, he notices that she looks really happy. Merle says that it is because she finds it fun to flirt with Daddy. Kaiser asks her if she is not supposed to be at school as it is still class time. Merle doesn't say anything for a while. As Kaiser asks her if she is skipping out again, Merle looks at him and smiles. Kaiser understands that she is again skipping her classes and recalls that she had said that she would be going to school properly the other day. Kaiser tells her that he also received a complaint from her teacher. The teacher told him that Merle just sleeps and never listens to him at all during class. During practice lessons, she only used magic that was not taught, and lastly, she challenged and defeated her own teacher. Merle tries to justify herself by saying that it is because the teacher just kept nagging her to do this, and that so she thought that if she showed him who was stronger then he would not bother her anymore. Merle finds it amazing how badly she beat him and asks Kaiser to praise her. However, Kaiser denies and says that he cannot praise her for something like that. Merle is surprised to hear that. Kaiser proceeds to tell her that he thinks that her defeating her teacher is indeed amazing and he thinks that she is a genius, but the purpose of magic is not to hurt people, but rather improve their lives. As Kaiser says that magic has value because it helps people, Merle feels dejected. At the same time, someone greets Kaiser from a distance and asks him if he is returning home from work. Kaiser in his response says that it is something like that and says that he seems to be quite busy. The guy tells Kaiser that this year is going to be the biggest harvest they have ever had, and the fact that demons have not been able to harm the crops is a big reason for it. He gives the credit for it to Kaiser because he became the guardian, and most importantly, that magical fence that he made had been helpful. Merle wonders what he meant by a magical fence. Kaiser asks her if this is her first time seeing it. He tells her that the magical fence is reinforced with lighting magic. It is made so that if a monster is trying to attack the crops and touches them, they will be hit by a jolt of electricity. The guy finds this invention of Kaiser amazing and appreciates him as because of him, their crops have not been damaged at all. He says that there is no better view than seeing an annoying monster turn its tail and run away from it. Moreover, he says that he will make sure to give Kaiser some of the crops once the harvesting is done. As Kaiser wonders if that is alright, the guy says that in this world he needs to maintain a give and take relationship. After he suggests Merle to make sure to eat her vegetables and grow big and strong, he decides to get going back to work and leaves. After the guy leaves, Kaiser wonders what they were talking about before. Merle says that it is alright as she thinks she gets what Daddy is trying to say. She asks Kaiser if he will praise her if she uses her magic to help others. After Kaiser assures her about the same, her mood brightens up and says that this cute daughter will work hard to earn those praises. As Kaiser gets up and gives her a hand to stand, he thinks that Merle is a genius, and if this is the catalyst that will make her study how to use magic for the people, it is likely that the world will undergo a huge development in the future. Meanwhile, in their house, Elsa and Anna are tensed while thinking that they have only got about a week left until the big day comes and decide that it is time for them to make a decision. Anna gets serious about it and says that they need to meet up and think about what they are going to get their daddy for his birthday. While Kaiser and Merle are on their way to their home, Anna and Elsa decide to discuss about what they can get their daddy on his birthday. Elsa thinks that that is going to be a problem as their father usually does not talk about the things he likes. Anna finds it true and recalls that their daddy does not drink and he does not have a hobby of collecting things either. Elsa thinks of going and asking some of his friends for ideas, but Anna tells her that she has already done that but she got nothing from it. Elsa thinks that they can't just ask him directly either, and Anna says that she would like to keep it a secret if possible. Elsa wonders why don't they all just try to cook something for him. Anna tells her that she has thought about that as well. However, she thinks that it is better if it is something that he can keep. Then Elsa thinks that the best choice comes down to something like an accessory. About that, Anna says that it is the safest choice, but their main problem is that they don't have enough money. Elsa has been saving too, but it is still not enough to buy an accessory for their daddy. Anna says that she has been helping out in a lot of places, but it was all voluntary work. As they continued to wonder what they could do for their daddy on his birthday, Elsa heard a creaking sound. Kaiser and Merle were finally back at home. As Anna welcomes their daddy, he wonders if the two of them are up to something as there are a bunch of coins on the table. Elsa tries to cover them up and says that she and Anna are just talking about saving money. Kaiser asks them to feel free to tell Daddy if they need help with something. Anna says that they are fine and assures him that they will tell him if they think of something. While discussing all this, Anna notices that a certain foolish brat, Merle, should have been in school and wonders how come she is at home. As she proceeds to squeeze Merle's ear, Merle covers her ears and asks her to calm down as she has a good reason for this. Kaiser asks Anna if she could cut her some slack this time as he is sure that Merle won't skip school again. As Merle wonders what Kaiser means to say, he asks her if she didn't find out what her calling with magic was and tells her that those who are motivated don't skip. Anna wonders if something had happened that day and decides to forgive her this time since their daddy asked. However, she gives a warning to Merle that if she skips the next time then she will be sure to give her a harsh punishment. Merle assures her that it is going to be okay and says that from now on, the genius magician Merle-chan will be doing a lot of amazing things. Anna stares at her for a while and then pinches her. Merle screams out of pain and asks why she did that as she was going to overlook it this time. Anna tells her that the smug look on her face pissed her off, so she pinched her. Merle calls her monster and demon for being so mean to her. Moments later, Kaiser tells the three of them that he will go make dinner and asks them to make sure to get along in the meantime. After Kaiser leaves to prepare dinner, Merle asks Anna and Elsa what they are talking about. Anna tells her that they were talking about what to get their daddy for his birthday. As Elsa asks Merle if she has any good ideas, Merle thinks a bit and then casually says that she has no idea at all, which is just what Anna had thought. Elsa asks if they would go with an accessory after all. Anna asks them to go with that and says that she will contact her acquaintances while they both try to think about other options as well. When Anna goes to meet one of her acquaintances in search of an accessory for their daddy, he tells her that he has a good one. He shows Anna the necklace and tells her that some time ago, he did some business with a peddler and that's when he got it. He also tells her that her daughter married off and left and he is not one to wear these kinds of things, so it is just gathering dust in his drawer for a long time. Anna finds it wonderful and asks him how much would he sell it to her. He says that since she has been a huge help to them all this time, he would love to give it to her for free, but he has got a favor to ask. When Anna asks him what is it, he tells her that just as she knows that the harvest festival is in 4 days, his store does a sale outside every year. However, his leg is injured, and since it is such a big event, a lot of people are going to come, but he won't be able to provide a good service for them. That's why he asks Anna to come and work at his store that day with her sisters. He concludes by saying that after the day is done, he will give her the necklace. Anna agrees to do it. The guy thanks her and asks her to come and meet him at noon in 4 days as he will make all the preparations in advance. 4 days later, when the 3 girls reach the fest, Merle rethinks about the fact that they are going to have to work during the festival and wonders if they will be getting sweets. Elsa reminds her that it is for their father's sake and asks her to just endure it for that day. Moreover, Elsa tells her that she needs to leave behind weak things like sweets and become an adult. In her contradiction, Merle says that she is a weak, cute little child who wants to eat a lot of sweets. Anna then says that it is no use as Merle will probably like sweet things until she dies. As Merle agrees with what Anna just said, Elsa thinks that she is just trying to provoke her. After some time, the shopkeeper finally sees the three girls and assumes that everything is ready to go. A girl recognizes Anna and greets her. After replying to her, Anna wonders and asks the shopkeeper if he already had other people helping him out. The shopkeeper says that there was a reason he asked her for help, as he didn't want just anyone helping him out. Moreover, he says that they are all beautiful girls, and if he had them at the storefront then they would definitely attract customers. As he says that her daughter could not cut it for the job and laughs, his daughter hears him and spanks his injured leg. After she apologizes to Anna that her dad asked her such a selfish request, she takes the three of them inside the store because she has something for them to wear. After the three of them wear their dresses, the shopkeeper and her daughter look at them and find them cute. The shopkeeper's daughter tells them that those are the outfits that she used to wear during the past festivals and they look great on all of them. As it is just about time for the ceremony to finish, the shopkeeper asks the three of them to wait outside the store while he opens up the store for the start of the festival. As the festival started, Kaiser also came to visit it. He notices that there are a lot of people this year and wonders if it is because it is the biggest harvest they have ever had. While looking around, Kaiser notices that a place is pretty crowded and wonders what kind of store that is. When he gets closer to take a look at it, he sees all three of his daughters and wonders why are they suddenly working as salespeople. Merle notices Kaiser standing in the crowd and welcomes him. Anna asks him if he is in charge of the village security this year. Kaiser tells her that it is something like that, but more importantly, he asks her why are they all working as salespeople. Merle is about to spoil everything related to his birthday gift, but Elsa manages to cover her mouth and shut her up. Elsa then says that they just wanted to see how it felt to sell things for a change. At the same time, the shopkeeper notices Kaiser and apologizes for borrowing his daughters for a bit. Kaiser appreciates his hard work and hopes that his daughters don't bother him a lot. The shopkeeper asks Kaiser not to be ridiculous as his own daughter is helping him out, but he is still worried about how the sales would turn out and he finds his three daughters a huge help with that. The shopkeeper's daughter comes and asks Kaiser how were his three daughters looking. Elsa asks him hesitantly what he thinks. Kaiser smiles and says that he thinks it really suits them and they all look cute. All three of them react in their own ways to this compliment by their daddy. The shopkeeper asks the four of them to go and enjoy the festival as things have calmed down a bit there. Merle feels relieved and says that she is really starving after a long day of work. Elsa swaggers and wonders if Merle didn't just grab something to eat from a nearby store and wonders why is she still hungry. Anna, on the other hand, appreciates this behavior of Merle as she was able to grab everyone's attention because of which they got so many customers. Kaiser says that since the three of them worked so hard, he will buy them anything that they want. While Elsa and Merle are happy and excited to hear that, Anna asks his daddy if he doesn't need to go back to work. Kaiser in his response says that it is okay as he was just taking a walk around the festival to check on how it was doing while also patrolling the place. He then takes his departure with his three daughters. Merle holds their daddy's hand and starts to sing about dating him. Elsa panics and asks her to stop doing that as a father-daughter date sounds weird. Merle insists and says that she does not care about such small things. Elsa asks her if she does not care about what others think and says that their father will be in trouble if people get the wrong idea. Merle continues to insist and says that people can think whatever they want. While the three of them continue to talk with each other, Kaiser silently sees them and smiles. He thinks that these three girls will used to be so small before can now run a shop by themselves. In 4 years, when they will turn 14, they will depart towards the capital and follow the path they wish to walk, but even without his help, he thinks that those three will be fine. The other day, when Kaiser returns back to home, he finds a strange silence in there. He asks if anyone is there. He thinks that none of them should have anything to do that day and wonders where did they go. Suddenly, all three of the girls come out and surprise their daddy by wishing him a very happy birthday. Kaiser was so astonished to see all that he could not even say anything. Elsa tells him that rather than just thanking him as always, they had decided to throw a party for him instead. Moreover, Anna tells him that they had prepared a birthday present as well, and Merle gives him his birthday present while saying that the three of them worked hard to get him this. As Merle hands over his gift to him, Kaiser starts crying. Elsa panics and asks him if he is alright. Kaiser assures her that he is okay and says that he thinks he is still not old enough to stop crying. To which, Anna says that their daddy is still quite young. Kaiser thanks them for their efforts and says that he really likes it and asks if he can put it on right away. Merle asks them to let her give him a hand. While Merle puts the necklace on Kaiser, Elsa and Anna bring up the cake and light up its candles for Kaiser to blow. At the same time, he thinks that he had thought that in 4 years, he would be able to see them off without much trouble, but now he guesses that he will miss them after all. Moreover, he thinks that he just can't leave behind the village he is protecting, and the least he can do is to give the three of them as much love and affection as he can until they have to go, and that is what he has decided. In the village, a monster falls down. Kaiser stands there with his sword in its sheath and says that she is quite lively, even though it is a shame that she picked the wrong opponent. It is Elsa who slashes the monster and defeats him. Kaiser praises Elsa for defeating the monster in one blow and becoming quite strong, just as he had expected from her. Elsa appreciates his training and recalls that 4 years ago, she was so afraid that she could not even move from where she stood. However, she could not afford to keep standing still when there were people that she needed to protect. Kaiser says to her that even if she has grown from the Elsa she was back then, she must make sure to never forget how she felt at that time. Kaiser also recalls that 4 years have passed since then and all of his daughters turned 14 this year. Elsa had decided to follow the path of the sword, using the techniques he taught her and making them her own. She also helps as a guardian of the village, courageously fighting against the monsters who attack them. While on their way back, Kaiser remembers that Elsa had won the swordsmanship tournament once again, and this makes it the 4th year in a row, which leads to her getting banned from the tournament this year. Kaiser laughs and assumes it is a like father like daughter. Elsa happily says that she is delighted to be banned the same way as her father was. Kaiser says that she is probably the only person in the world to be happy about something like that. Elsa is just happy to share the same ban as her father did. Kaiser then suggests she get going as the other two are waiting for them at home. As they reach the home, they are greeted by Anna and Merle. Anna praises both of them for their good work and tells them that the dinner is served. Merle hugs Kaiser and says that she also helped in making the dinner. Anna swaggers and asks her to correct her if she is wrong, but she only brings the food. Anna was now fully showing off her management skills and negotiation skills. Thanks to her, the village's financial situation was doing so well that they bothered to name a holiday after her, called Thanksgiving to Anna Day. However, Merle is still the same spoiled child who skips out on her magic training, but she has decided to use her magic for the people rather than selfish reasons. Merle tells her father that she found a hot spring vein using earth magic, and thanks to her, the village is going to have 2 hot springs. Kaiser praises her for her amazing work. Anna, on the other hand, says that if the village gets a hot spring district, it will surely attract more people into coming into the village, but if the number of people increase, the amount of monster will also increase, so she asks her father to be careful. Kaiser assures her not to worry about him, as even if he is in his 30s, his body shows no signs of slowing down. Rather, he feels as if it keeps getting stronger. Kaiser suggests they have dinner as he cannot wait to eat the delicious cooking of Anna. Anna says that it is just an imitation of his cooking and says that she was more motivated than usual. Since it is the last day, tomorrow is the day when his 3 daughters will depart towards the capital, as they will get the right to work at the age of 14. Elsa decides to follow the path of an adventurer just like Kaiser. Anna is pursuing the guild master's path, and lastly, Merle is going down the magician's path, although she herself asked if she could just be a freeloader. As the 3 of them finish their dinner, Kaiser asks them if they are done preparing for the next day. Anna says that it is similar to moving out from a house and they have lots and lots of things to pack up. Moreover, she suggests her father to take a bath first while they finish their preparations for tomorrow. Kaiser agrees to do so and decides to head to the bath first. However, he did not notice that the 3 of them had an ulterior motive. While sitting in the bathtub, Kaiser thinks that in the end, he cannot say to them that he is not their real father. He has lost count of the number of times that he tried to tell them in the last 3 years, but he could not say it just because of what he did and their parents died. He wonders what kind of people were their true parents. Suddenly, the bathroom door opens up. Kaiser removes the cloth from his eyes and sees the 3 of them entering all naked. Kaiser was surprised and asked what are they doing there, as they said that they were getting ready for tomorrow. Elsa asks Kaiser if he would allow her to wash his back because their father has been the one who hurt the sword and she wants to repay him for it. Kaiser could not think of anything else and allowed her and decided to wash her back too in return. Anna and Merle decide to join in too. Elsa goes behind him and asks him to not turn around under any circumstances. While rubbing him back, Elsa asks him if it is too hard. In his reply, Kaiser says that it feels amazing, as if he is a new person. Merle decides to take her turn now in washing his back, but Anna grabs her hair and pulls her away. She stopped her because she knew that Merle wanted to wash him off with his body. Elsa asks them not to embarrass their daddy too much and asks them to gather together as her body is starting to feel cold. While the 3 of them washed Kaiser's back, Elsa asked Merle to stop trying to clean his front side. Merle contradicts this by saying that it is fine. Elsa then looks at her and calls it shamelessness and asks her to stop showing off her body so casually. Merle teases her by saying that she is pretty sure that she would be happy to push her breasts all over daddy. Elsa panics and asks what kind of nonsense is she saying, as if she could do something as obscene as that. Anna shouts at both of them and says that they both are too noisy and asks them to just rinse off. After they were done cleaning each other's backs, the 3 daughters sat in front of him while taking his support at their backs. Merle asks Kaiser if he is sure that he cannot come with them. Kaiser pats her and says that he has his duty as guardian of the village and other jobs he has been asked to. Besides, someone needs to stay and take care of the house too. Merle turns around and says that she will be too lonely and she cannot live without him, and she decides that if he is staying in the village then she will be staying too. Anna requests Merle to not be so selfish and tells her that if she stays here then she will end up becoming a full-fledged freeloader, and tells her to just come to the capital and come face the harsh society outside. Moreover, Anna assures Kaiser that she will make sure that Merle does not cause too much trouble, and she will also make sure to send him a letter every month telling him how they are doing. Kaiser feels assured to know that from her. Kaiser realizes that his cute little daughters had grown up so much before he knew it, and they will finally spread their wings and fly away on their own the next day. The next day, when everything is done ready, Kaiser asks them to take care of themselves. Elsa says that she will definitely become an ranked adventurer just like her father. Anna asks him to take care of himself, and Merle says that she will go back home once a heck to be spooky. The three of them finally take their departure and leave. After the three of them leave, Giselle-san comes to Kaiser and asks him if he feels like a weight has been lifted from his shoulder. Kaiser didn't know the answer to his question. For the time being, Giselle-san appreciates Kaiser's work for the last 14 years and says that he must have gotten old to say that they went by so quickly. He then asks Kaiser to help him stock up. While on their way, Anna considers it a shame that aside from Merle, who will return once a week, she thinks that Elsa will be very depressed. Elsa says that she will be fine as their father trusted them and let them follow their dreams, so there she finds no need for her to be depressed. While Anna finds it correct, they see that Merle is just sleeping. And so, the daughters walked a path separated from their dad, but 4 years later, that parent-child story would start anew once again.